world where every person is unique, there exists a remarkable tool that has revolutionized the field of forensic science. Today, we take you on a journey through time, unraveling the history of fingerprints. Join us as we explore the personalities and their invaluable contributions from the early beginnings to the present day. Welcome to Tracing Identity, the history of fingerprints.
Sir Francis Galton. Galton produced over 340 papers and books. He also developed the statistical concept or collection and widely promoted regression towards the, the mean. He was the first to apply statistical method to study human differences and inheritance of intelligence and introduced the use of questionnaires and surveys for collecting data on human communities which he needed for genealogical and biological works and for his anthropometric studies. He was a pioneer of eugenetic coining and termed himself in 1883 and also coined by price on nature versus nurture. His book Heredity the Genuine 1869 was first social scientific attempt to study genuine and greatness. As an investigator of the human mind, he founded psychometric, the science of measuring mental facilities, and differential psychology, as well as the hypothesis of first.
Our story begins in the late 19th century when a British scientist, Sir Francis Galton, delved into the study of fingerprints. Galton was captivated by their unique patterns and sought to understand their significance. Galton's research laid the foundation for the classification and identification of fingerprints, earning him the title Father of Fingerprinting.
The Henry classification system has been a highly influential force in the formation of current IAFIS technology. When IAFIS solutions attempted to emulate the Henry process, up until the mid-1990s, it was not unusual for a state or city to continue to maintain its physical file of Henry sorted fingerprint cards, just in case a disaster occurred in the IAFIS. As processing speeds, network throughput capacities, and system reliability increased, it was no longer necessary for automated fingerprint matching to the mere had been the manual processes. The Henry classification system is the long-standing method by which fingerprints are sorted by psychological characteristics for one-to-many searching. Developed by Hem Chandra Bose, Kazi Azizul Hake, and Sir Edward Henry in the late 19th century for the criminal investigations in British India. It was the basis of modern-day IAFIS classification methods up until the 1990s. In recent years, the Henry classification system had been generally replaced by ridge-flow classification approaches.
Building upon Galton's work, another prominent personality emerged, Sir Edward Henry, a British police official. Henry devised a systematic method to categorize and compare fingerprints, known as the Henry classification system. The revolutionary system paved the way for the application of fingerprints in law enforcement and criminal investigations.
Early 20th century America generally refers to the time period in United States from 1990s to the mid 1930s. There are several events occurred during the World War I, World War II, economic boom, market crash, nuclear weapons and nuclear power, and space exploration and advanced technology.
Across the Atlantic, in America, fingerprints found their way into the heart of forensic science. Key figures like Thomas Jennings, the first person convicted based on fingerprint evidence, and Alphonse Bertillon, a Frenchman who introduced anthropometry, played crucial roles in advancing the science of fingerprint identification.
Did you know at 1904 World Fair, apart from international exhibit of the world's new invention and discoveries, were three booths demonstrating identification method. One booth displays the anthropometric method and was run by Emerson E. Davis from New York. Captain James Captain James J. Park from New York and Inspector John Kenneth Ferrer of New Scotland Yard each set up a booth displaying the fingerprint method of identification. Inspector Ferrer discussed the fingerprint method with many individuals at Fair, several of whom were in charge of their own police department throughout the United States. He also showed where visitors and interns were anthropometric measured of two men varied by only a millimeter and how the fingerprints were different.
One significant event showcasing the power of fingerprints occurred at the 1904 St. Louis World's Fair. Dr. Henry P. DeForest, an American fingerprint expert, unveiled a groundbreaking display highlighting the uniqueness of fingerprints. The exhibit captivated the world, introducing fingerprinting as a reliable and scientific method of identification.
Philippines never missed this event, but one question bothered the presenter mind. Are there Filipinos present in the exhibit areas, especially the ones set up for fingerprint identification purpose? With frustrations, the presenter failed to find any citation of Filipino presence and participation in exhibit where the latest information and application in the field of fingerprint science were showcased and demonstrated. It was noted, however, that the band formed on October 15, 1902 by Colonel Walter lobbying upon the instruction of civil Governor William Howard Taft, who was known as Music Lover, was present. It will be recalled further that among the many things for which the Philippines was famous abroad before the First World War was the Philippine Constabulary Band. The 18-piece band toured the United States to great acclaim, including the leading parade in Washington, D.C., when Taft was inaugurated president and performs the 1904 World Fair.
Meanwhile, in the Philippines, the science of fingerprints was making its mark. Under the American colonial period, Filipino fingerprint experts such as Francisco Aranda and Francisco Sevilla contributed significantly to the development and establishment of fingerprinting as a vital tool in law enforcement within the Philippine context.
AFIS Automated Fingerprint Identification System, a database of more than 6,000 records from all of the region's police agencies, with more coming in every day. An electronic live scan has replaced the old outdated ink print system. Information is now uploaded in moments instead of days. AFACE uses the unique arrangement reads characteristics on a print to compare them to the thousands of others. On file, the computer produces a list of possible matches within minutes. The computer may narrow down the search, but it's a trained print examiner that carefully compares them and determines a match.
Today, in modern forensic laboratories, fingerprints are analyzed using advanced technologies such as automated fingerprint identification systems or AFIS, enabling faster and more accurate identification. Fingerprints have become an indispensable tool in solving crimes. identifying missing persons, and ensuring justice.
Good day everyone, I am Rachel Aste and I'm here to explain about various location with overlay images of fingerprints. Chemical imaging of a fingerprints can be provided by valuable insights into the distribution of different compounds including palmitic acid and the immovable waxy residue. In such an imaging technique, different fluorescent dyes or labels can be used to selectively stain specific components of the fingerprints. In this hypothetical scenario, let us assume that a fluorescent green dye is used to label the immovable waxy residue. So, ang kaning immovable waxy residue, mao ni siya ang gato bitang mo help nato nga i-preserve ang fingerprint nato. When the fingerprints is subjected to chemical imaging, the relative distribution of these compounds can be visualized. The resulting image would show the palmitic acid labeled areas appearing green, indicating the regions where palmitic acid is concentrated within the fingerprint residue. So, ang ganing palmitic acid, mao ni siya kadto bitaw mura bitaw og oil nga mahibilin if naatay mahawiran. Then similarly, the immovable waxy residue labeled with a red dye would appear red in the image, highlighting the areas where the residue is present. Mao lang to explain ako unsa ang residue o ang immovable residue o ang katong palmitic acid. And that's all. Thank you.
From crime scenes to immigration offices, the power of fingerprints extends far and wide. They serve as a silent witness linking individuals to their actions and providing irrefutable evidence.
One of the major reasons for the growth of this market is the increasing need for secure authentication, especially in government projects. The rise in crime rates and the use of sophisticated technologies in thefts, technologies in their need for fingerprint biometrics. In addition, the need for the investigation and verification of individual has increased because of the recurring criminal activities.
Forensic experts from around the world share knowledge and collaborate, exchanging best practices to enhance the science of fingerprint identification. The impact of fingerprinting goes beyond borders, transcending nationality and culture. It has become a universal language in the pursuit of justice and security. Thank you for joining us on this enlightening exploration of tracing identity, the history of fingerprints. Until next time.